think it's a privilege to call yourself and it's something that you have to earn.
People who knew Tom before he was fully brainwashed say that he was a sweet and loving person, and he's turned into something.
Will and Jada were 100% Scientologists, period. I have a lawsuit against Jada, and I'm in court right now for the civil restraining order, and I mentioned the Church of Scientology in that for the man. Somebody put a dead dog in a trash bag.
I've heard the stories of what happens, and I've seen these kinds of someone to constantly walk behind you and say, you're insane.
Have you ever really stopped and wondered how certain celebrities seem to age so differently from everyone else? I'm not just talking about plastic surgery or expensive skincare routines. It feels like something more than that. Almost like time slows down for them, or in some cases, even moves backwards. Over the years, there have been quiet rumors in Hollywood about exclusive systems and inner circles that operate far from the public eye. Some people believe these systems are tied to powerful organizations that maintain influence over the entertainment industry. One name that often comes up in these conversations is the Church of Scientology. There have been claims that, starting in the early 2000s, the organization made a strong effort to bring in more high-profile Black celebrities. Not just rising stars, but established, influential figures with strong cultural impact. The reasoning, according to these claims, was not only about growth, but also about shaping public perception and strengthening their position within Hollywood. And then there's the story involving Dave Chappelle. After turning down a massive deal reportedly worth around $50 million, Dave stepped away from the spotlight and spent time in Africa. That decision shocked the industry. Some believe that moment marked a turning point, when he distanced himself from powerful structures, and in doing so, may have drawn unwanted attention.
So I got ahead of schedule, and I bounced. And I didn't tell anybody where I was going. The whole time, they're trying to convince me I'm insane. They were trying to get me to take psychotic medication. Yeah. Like I'm sitting around, I was stressed out, but the people that were telling me I was insane, I believe that they knew what was going on. So, this was troublesome.
Yeah.
I said, I'm not taking this medicine, man, because I know these people be trying to control you or maybe discredit you. I was afraid,
But you were stressed out. That's why.
There's no question. But it's very stressful for someone to constantly walk behind you and say.
When Dave eventually returned and began speaking publicly, he shared experiences that raised a lot of questions. In interviews, including his appearance with Oprah Winfrey, he talked about feeling pressured by people around him. He described situations where individuals attempted to convince him that something was wrong with his mental state. According to his account, there were even attempts to guide him toward psychiatric treatment, including medication that he didn't feel he needed. What stood out was not just the suggestion itself, but the persistence behind it. He implied that these efforts were not casual or isolated, but part of a broader attempt to influence how he was perceived. When he resisted, he claimed the pressure didn't simply go away, it evolved.
Oh, hey, how about this? I showed up to work the first week, and where my office used to be, they built a wall there.
Why?
I didn't know why. But it came out later that they were like, well, they said you wanted it. I don't want to be walled up at the office. I like hanging.
This is where many people begin connecting his story to older controversial practices linked to Scientology. One concept that often gets mentioned is something known as fair game, originally introduced by the founder L. Ron Hubbard back in the 1960s. The idea, at least historically, was that individuals labeled as enemies could be subjected to various forms of pressure, social, legal, or psychological. While the organization has publicly stated that this policy was discontinued decades ago, former members and critics have argued that similar tactics may still exist under different names. That raises an important question. Even if the label is gone, could the underlying strategy still be active in some form?
If you are deemed an enemy of the Church of Scientology, they're going to use any means possible to come after you. And it's just nasty stuff.
What do they call that again? They have a word for it.
Fair game.
Fair game. And can you explain what that is?
Fair game is, like I said, it was the actual written policy of anybody who's been deemed an enemy of the Church of Scientology. you use any tactics possible to come after them. They are fair game.
Wow. It's like the cops too. I mean, you've chatted about the LAPD.
You know, not long ago, the Hollywood Division police station on Wilcox, they used to have a Scientology kiosk inside of it.
Wow, really?
And there are Hollywood cops who are in the Church of Scientology.
One method frequently discussed in this context is something called a noisy investigation. The concept is relatively simple but highly disruptive. Instead of quietly investigating someone, the process involves contacting people connected to them, friends, colleagues, neighbors, and informing them that the individual is being looked into for alleged issues. The goal isn't necessarily to uncover evidence. Instead, it creates suspicion, damages reputation, and isolates the person socially. Over time, this kind of pressure can affect how others see you, even if nothing is proven. Critics claim that similar strategies have been used not only within organizations, but also in broader professional environments, including entertainment.
What do you think about them accusing Diddy of having cameras in his house so he can record celebrities and politicians and use it as blackmail?
I firmly believe that's true because in that sector of people, a lot of them practice Scientology. And Scientology, that was their thing. They would get people in compromising positions. They'll hold that footage over their head and get them to agree to things. I think he one of them Scientology people, bro. Because that's probably where he got that from. A lot of powerful guys operate like that. So the things I'm seeing with him, it all makes sense.
And this is where the conversation shifts back toward Hollywood. The Church of Scientology has maintained a visible presence in the industry for decades, including its well-known celebrity center. High-profile names like Tom Cruise and Jerry Seinfeld have been associated with the organization at different points. Because of this overlap, some people believe that certain ideas, behaviors, or influence strategies may have extended beyond the organization itself and into the wider entertainment ecosystem. There have also been claims from individuals like Jaguar Wright, who suggested that powerful networks exist behind the scenes, connecting influential figures across industries. While these claims remain unproven, they continue to fuel speculation.
Why didn't they ask Leah Remini? She's a little more credible. But then again, she might have been able to pull some of their cards because a lot of them motherfuckers is involved in that Scientology bullshit too. Right into the corner where Biggie was killed. I was just there. Literally. And that building, it's this big, gaudy, Masonic looking thing. You know, it's all right, architecturally wise. But what gets really interesting about it is when the sun goes down, they turn the lights on, blood red, pure blood red. The whole building glows, pure blood red. I don't know. It just feels disturbing to me. You put this thing up that looks like some kind of Masonic monument where Biggie Smalls was shot to death. And at night, you thought that the color should be blood red.
You spoke about Scientology.
Yeah.
Does that have to do with anything with the Illuminati, or is that just separate entities?
They're separate entities, but they work in tandem.
Right.
They spy on each other's people for each other. Right. You know, if they don't want to make it look like they're stalking one of their, defectees, they'll ask somebody from TMZ to do it for them. Oops, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say that out loud, allegedly. Harvey. They farm it out, make it seem like it's just paparazzi stuff when they're actually doing investigation. And Scientologists, they're relentless. A lot of people farm out their gaslighting work to them for a profit. That's LA.
So when someone like Dave Chappelle steps away from the system, refuses major deals, and speaks openly, it creates a complicated situation. From one perspective, it's simply a personal decision. From another, some believe it disrupts a larger structure, one that depends on consistency, control, and image. In that context, the response to such actions could involve pressure, isolation, or attempts to reshape the narrative around that individual. Whether or not those claims are accurate, they've become a major part of the conversation surrounding his story.
Here's the problem. You don't know the history of psychiatry. I do. All it does is mask the problem, Matt. And if you understand the history of it, it masks the problem. That's what it does. That's all it does. You're not getting to the reason why. There is no such thing as a chemical imbalance.
So
in a body.
postpartum depression to you is
Matt,
kind of a little psychological gobbledygook?
No, I did not say that.
I'm just asking, what would you call it?
Matt, that is the post. Now you're talking about two different things.
But that's what she went on the antidepressant for.
But what happens, the antidepressant, all it does is mask the problem. There's ways of vitamins and through exercise and various things. I'm not saying that that isn't real.
Another area where people notice contradictions is in the organization's stance on mental health. Scientology has long been critical of psychiatry and psychiatric medication. This position has been expressed publicly, including through campaigns and exhibitions. At the same time, Dave's account suggests that he was encouraged to consider medication during a period of stress. That contrast has led some to question whether the issue is truly about medication itself, or about control over who uses it and when. Moments like the public comments made by Tom Cruise regarding Brooke Shields also brought this debate into the mainstream. For many viewers, it highlighted a strong and unwavering stance against certain treatments.
The substance is real. How do you explain that Lindsay Lohan looked like this before and now she transformed into this? What do you say about Madonna? She completely became a different person. Christina Aguilera exploded the news. And what do you say about Adele? It speaks for itself.
This doctor over here reveals what the substance is. So please listen very carefully before they delete this video.
Most people, especially young people, probably don't realize that they're walking around right now in about 55%, maybe 60% of their true state of normal. There is a nutrient, amino acid, substrate, compound, an element missing from their body that if they knew what it was, would make the difference between them being an average person and being a super.
Then there's a completely different angle that often comes up in these discussions: aging. People frequently point to celebrities like Tom Cruise, Jada Pinkett Smith, and Beyonce as examples of individuals who appear to age very slowly. Of course, there are logical explanations: access to top-tier skincare, nutrition, fitness, and medical care. But rumors sometimes go further, suggesting the existence of advanced or experimental treatments that are not widely available. Films like The Substance, starring Demi Moore, have also added fuel to these ideas by exploring similar concepts in a fictional setting. Even comments from celebrities like Sandra Bullock about unique skincare methods have sparked curiosity, though no direct connections have been confirmed. So when you put all of this together, it creates a complex picture. On one side, you have an organization that publicly rejects certain medical practices. On the other, there are stories and claims that suggest a much more complicated reality behind the scenes. Is it all coincidence? Is it speculation? Or is there a deeper system at play that most people never see? That's something each viewer has to decide for themselves. Let me know what you think. And if you want me to break down another story like this, stay tuned for the next video.